everyone. Welcome to my online channel, The Palm Leaf. This is video number 21, and today we're going to look at a very interesting kind of a graph, right? This is something that you usually can't find in an Excel sheet. You can't do this in an Excel sheet. So what is it? In this graph, we're going to do an overwriting of both a scatter plot as well as a histogram, right? And we are going to use a separate package called as GG marginal. So what you see on your screen, if this is the first time that you're trying to do this, I would suggest you should install the GG Extra package, which is install.packages, and in the parentheses, in double quotes, you just mention GG Extra. Right, and then you call on the library. We would need the dplyr and the ggplot package anyways. So I'm guessing you would have already installed the dplyr and the ggplot package based on our earlier videos. So the only additional step that you need to perform is just install GG Extra and then call on the library. I'm just going to run the GG Extra library function because everything else we've been doing since the last few videos, right? So that's the prerequisite to getting onto this video. And what we are going to achieve is this graph that you see on your screen, right? And you can make subtle changes to this, and we will look at how you can plot the histogram. We will change that to density plots or box plots depending on what we want. But this is a graph that is very unique, right? And what is so unique about it? On the x-axis, you see a numerical variable, which is the weight of the car, and on the x-axis, you will see miles per gallon, which is mileage. And all these fancy dots that you see, which are bordered in red and filled with yellow. These plots are like basic scatter plots, right? We've already looked at how we can draw scatter plots, how we can use the stroke function to determine the thickness or the width of the border, so on and so forth. So what are we trying to do here? In this plot, if you observe, there are two aspects. The first aspect is I can actually see the number of observations, and I see that there is a negative correlation, right? More the weight of the car. So as the weight of the car tends towards 5, you can see that the mileage is dropping to 10. And as the weight tends towards 2 or even lesser, the mileage goes on increasing, right? So that's what you see on this plot. But what is interesting is now, along with the scatter plot, we can have both. We can have histograms for both x and y axis. So the way to read this is on the x axis. If you see to the top, you see some bars right onto the top. This represents the histogram of the x axis, and what you see to your right, the histogram to your right, is the distribution of the y-axis, which is miles per gallon. And you can see most number of entries are just about 20, right, for the miles per gallon. So this is the unique chart that we're going to build. Let's quickly see how we can do it. It is a fairly simple chart. All that you need to do is use the same ggplot function. We are using empty cars here, which is just a data set of 32 different types of car models. And we're just going to compare weight versus MPG as we saw. So in the aesthetics syntax, we just write x is equal to WT and y is equal to MPG, which defines our x and y coordinates. And we have called out the data set as ggplot. Now we assign that to a vector variable or a variable called as g, right? So this is the assignment operator. We assign it to g so that we can reuse it later. Now, what am I doing it? What am I doing with the rest of the plot? I can use geom point, or I can use geom jitter, and just so that I get the right shape and size, and we have seen this in the previous video, right? We're just going to have the border color as red. You're going to fill it with yellow. You can play around with this colors as you like. You can keep size is equal to 3 and shape is equal to 21. Now shape is equal to 21 gives you a hollow circle, which means you can control both the border and the fill. And stroke is equal to 2 that determines the thickness of the border, right? So if I increase the stroke, I'll have a thicker red line. That's all. And I'm using theme is equal to classic because I don't want grids. So it gives me a fair plot. Now this plot, I'm going to store it in the vector variable g, right? So let me quickly run it. In the next line of code, which is 528, all that I'm trying to do is I'm going to use the GG marginal function, and I miss capital here. I'm going to use the GG marginal function from the GG extra package. I'm going to call my G, which is the plot, and I'm going to just say type is equal to histogram, and I'm going to fill it with turquoise. Right? I mean, you can fill it with any number of any color you want, but this is my favorite. Right? So let me just quickly run this line of code, and that's what you get here. Right? So that's a simple and neat graph using two lines of code. The first line of code is just to store the plot, which is your point plot or jitter plot, and you can play around with all the elements inside depending on what you want. You store it in the vector variable G, and then you use a GG marginal plot where you can reuse the plot and just say type is equal to histogram and fill is equal to turquoise. Right? Now, let's say if you don't want the histogram, if you want something else, in line number 530, what we have done is, because we have stored the plot in G, we can reuse it a number of times. So I'm just going to say GG marginal, and then I'm just going to call G and then say type is equal to density, right? So what happens here? My histogram suddenly changes into a density plot, right? Let's say you don't want density, you want box plot, and I'm filling the box plot also with the same color, turquoise. And if I run that line of code, I'm going to get a simple box plot. So a box plot is also fairly good because it tells me where my majority of data. It divides my whole data set into 4 equal pieces in terms of the number of observations. I can see that there is a big skew towards the third quartile on the x-axis. And I can see the first 3 quartiles are broadly even for the y-axis, right? And the fourth quartile is slightly stretched out. So I mean, it's a quick correlation plus distribution kind of a plot that you can do with this. I'm guessing this is one of the most interesting plots that you would have seen, because you could see correlation, you could see all the observations along with the distribution. If you have any comments, if you find it interesting, please leave a note in the comments. Thank you very much for watching. Let's see you in the next video. Thank you very much. Cheers.